Have you ever noticed that the highest paying remote jobs are often the ones nobody brags about? Not the flashy influencer stuff, not the make money while you sleep nonsense, but the quiet, behind the scenes roles that most people scroll right past. And here's the crazy part, those boring jobs are almost always the ones companies are desperately trying to fill. Because while everyone is chasing attention, very few people are willing to do work that actually keeps businesses running. And that gap? That's where the money is. Now, before we get into it, if you want more breakdowns like this that actually help you earn smarter, make sure you're subscribed to Daily Money Clarity. That's where we focus on real opportunities, not hype. Alright, let's get into it. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 boring but high-paying remote jobs that are not only real, but are consistently hiring in 2026. And to make this interesting, instead of just listing them, we're going to rank each one across 5 categories. Think of it like a scorecard. We've got earning power, beginner friendliness, growth potential, survivability, meaning how safe the job is from AI, and finally, freedom, how flexible your lifestyle can be. By the end, you'll know exactly which one fits you best. Let's start with job number 1. Job number 1: Email Deliverability Specialist. Now, this might sound incredibly dull, but stay with me. Have you ever signed up for something online and never received the confirmation email? Or maybe you've sent emails before and wondered why nobody is replying? That's exactly the problem this job solves. An email deliverability specialist makes sure emails actually land in people's inboxes, not spam folders. And here's why companies care so much about this. Because one small mistake in their email system could cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost sales. So, let's break this down. Starting with earning power. Entry-level roles usually begin around $55,000 per year, but once you understand systems, domains, and send a reputation, it's very realistic to scale past $100,000 annually. Especially if you start consulting for multiple businesses. So for earning power, I'm giving this a solid 8.5 out of 10. Now, beginner friendliness. At first glance, this might seem technical, but honestly, most of the skills can be learned online within a few weeks. You're dealing with tools, settings, and testing, not coding from scratch. So I'd say it's moderately beginner-friendly. This gets a 7.5 out of 10. Now let's talk growth potential. Every online business relies on email, whether it's e-commerce, SaaS, or coaching. And as more businesses move online, this problem only becomes more important. So growth potential? That's easily a 9 out of 10. Now survivability. Can AI replace this? Not really. AI can help diagnose issues, but when it comes to fixing deliverability across different systems and providers, it still requires human judgment. So I'm giving this an 8.5 out of 10. Finally, freedom. This job is fully remote, completely asynchronous, and once systems are set up, it's mostly monitoring and small adjustments. So you can work from pretty much anywhere. That's a 9 out of 10. Not a bad start. But let's see how the next one compares. Job number 2: Online Compliance Reviewer. Now this one is even less exciting, but surprisingly powerful. Have you ever accepted terms and conditions without reading a single line? Yeah, almost everyone does. But companies can't afford to do that. An online compliance reviewer makes sure businesses follow regulations, things like privacy laws, advertising rules, and data handling. Basically, you're the person making sure the company doesn't get sued. Now let's break it down. Earning power. Most roles fall between $60,000 and $95,000 per year, depending on the industry. And if you specialize in areas like healthcare or finance, that number can climb even higher. So we'll give this an 8 out of 10. Beginner friendliness. This one is slightly more structured. You'll need to understand regulations and policies, but many companies provide training. So it's not as easy as the first job, but still accessible. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Now growth potential. Here's where it gets interesting. Regulations are increasing every single year, especially in the US. Which means companies are constantly hiring people to stay compliant. So this isn't going anywhere. That's a 9.5 out of 10. Now survivability. AI can help scan documents, but when it comes to legal interpretation and risk decisions, businesses still rely heavily on humans. One mistake could cost millions. So survivability is strong. That's a 9 out of 10. And finally, freedom. This role is fully remote for many companies, but it often follows structured work hours. So you get flexibility, but not total freedom. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. Now, interestingly, this one is already competing closely with job number 1 in growth and survivability. Let's see what job number 3 brings. Job number 3, Workflow Automation Assistant. Now this one is quietly becoming one of the most in-demand remote roles. Have you ever used tools like scheduling apps, automated messages, or systems that just seem to run on their own? That doesn't happen by accident. A workflow automation assistant builds simple systems that save businesses time. That could mean automatically sending emails, organizing leads, or connecting different apps so they work together. Now here's the thing. Most small businesses know they need automation, but they have no idea how to set it up. That's where you come in. So let's break it down. Earning power. Beginners can start around $50,000 per year, but experienced automation specialists can easily pass $110,000, especially if they work with multiple clients. So I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. Beginner friendliness. This is surprisingly accessible. Most tools today are drag and drop, no coding required. If you can follow logic and understand processes, you can learn this. So I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. Now growth potential. This is where it gets crazy. Every business wants to save time and reduce manual work. And automation is the easiest way to do that. Demand is exploding. So this gets a 10 out of 10. Now survivability. Some people think AI will replace this, but in reality, AI actually increases demand. Because someone still needs to connect everything and make it work properly. So survivability is strong. That's a 9 out of 10. Finally, freedom. Once systems are built, maintenance is minimal. You're not tied to constant communication. So this is a very flexible role. I'm giving this a 9.5 out of 10. Alright, now things are getting interesting. This one just took the lead in multiple categories. But don't get too comfortable, the next job shifts things in a completely different direction. Job number 4, Insurance Claims Analyst. Now, I'll be honest. This is not a job most people dream about. But it pays extremely well, and it's always in demand. An insurance claims analyst reviews claims, checks documentation, and determines whether payouts are valid. It's detail-heavy, methodical, and yes, a bit repetitive. But that's exactly why companies struggle to fill these roles. So let's break it down. Earning power. Starting salaries are around $65,000, with experienced analysts earning upwards of $95,000 or more. So I'm giving this an 8.5 out of 10. Beginner friendliness. This one requires some training, and attention to detail is critical. You can't afford mistakes here. So it's slightly harder to get into. That's a 6.5 out of 10. Now growth potential. Insurance isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's expanding as new types of coverage emerge. So there's steady growth. I'm giving this an 8.5 out of 10. Now survivability. This job is highly resistant to automation. Why? Because every claim is different and requires judgment. AI can assist, but not fully replace. So that's a 9.5 out of 10. And finally, freedom. Many roles are remote, but structured. You likely have fixed hours and deadlines. So freedom is decent, but not top tier. That's a 7.5 out of 10. Now, looking at the scoreboard, this one is dominating in survivability. But let's see if the next job can shake things up. Job number 5, Data Annotation Specialist. Now this is where things get interesting again. Have you ever wondered how AI systems actually learn? They don't just magically understand the world. They're trained by humans. A data annotation specialist labels images, text, or videos so AI systems can learn patterns. For example, tagging objects in photos, categorizing content, or reviewing outputs for accuracy. Now, let's break it down. Earning power. Entry-level roles start around $40,000, but experienced specialists working with advanced datasets can reach $70,000 or more. So I'm giving this a 7.5 out of 10. Beginner friendliness. This is one of the easiest jobs to start. No degree required, minimal training, just consistency and focus. So that's a 9 out of 10. Now growth potential. As AI expands, so does this job. More systems equals more data equals more labeling. So growth is strong. That's a 9 out of 10. Now survivability. Here's the twist. AI is improving, which means it may reduce some of this work over time. But right now, humans are still essential. So I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. Finally, freedom. This job is often fully remote, but can be repetitive and time-based. So flexibility is good, but the work can feel monotonous. That's an 8.5 out of 10. Alright. At this point, we've covered 5 roles, and each one is strong in different ways. Some dominate in freedom, others in stability, and a few in pure earning potential. But the next 2 jobs? They completely change the leaderboard. And one of them, in particular, might surprise you because it looks simple on the surface, but pays far more than you'd expect. We'll break those down next. Alright, let's keep going because this is where things start to get really interesting. So far, we've seen jobs that are stable, flexible, and in some cases, surprisingly high-paying. But the next 2 roles? They push things even further, especially when it comes to earning potential and long-term demand. Let's get into it. Job number 6, Remote Sales Operations Coordinator. Now, this is one of those jobs that almost nobody talks about, but every serious business depends on. You've probably heard of sales teams, closers, account managers. But what most people don't realize is that behind every successful sales team, there's someone organizing everything behind the scenes. That's the Sales Operations Coordinator. They don't close deals. They don't jump on calls trying to convince customers. Instead, they handle everything that makes the sales process run smoothly. We're talking about managing customer data, tracking leads, setting up CRM systems, making sure the right information gets to the right people at the right time. Basically, they remove chaos from the sales process. And here's why that matters. Because when sales teams are disorganized, companies lose money fast. So having someone who keeps everything structured? That's incredibly valuable. Let's break this one down. Starting with earning power. Most roles fall between $60,000 and $90,000 per year, but if you move into senior positions or work with high-performing teams, you can push well into 6 figures. So I'm giving this an 8.5 out of 10. Now beginner friendliness. This one sits somewhere in the middle. You don't need advanced technical skills, but you do need to understand systems, organization, and how businesses operate. If you've ever managed spreadsheets, schedules, or basic tools, you already have a head start. So I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. Now growth potential. This is where things get strong. Every growing company builds a sales team. And every sales team eventually needs structure. Which means this role naturally expands as businesses grow. You can move into operations management, strategy, or even leadership roles. So for growth, that's a 9 out of 10. Now survivability. Can AI replace this? Not really. It can assist with data, but it can't manage people, priorities, and constantly changing workflows the way a human can. So I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. Finally, freedom. This role is fully remote in many companies, but it often involves collaboration with teams. So you'll need to be available during certain hours. Still flexible, just not completely independent. That's an 8 out of 10. Now looking at the scoreboard. This one is strong across the board, no major weaknesses. But the final job? It might take the top spot in more than one category. Job number 7, Content Quality Auditor. Now listen carefully, because this one isn't as simple as it sounds. Have you ever watched a video, read an article, or seen an ad and thought, something about this just feels off? Maybe the tone was wrong. Maybe the message didn't match the audience. Or maybe it just didn't meet platform standards. That's exactly what a content quality auditor does. They review content before or even after it goes live, and make sure it aligns with brand guidelines, platform rules, and audience expectations. This role exists because one bad piece of content can damage a company's reputation overnight. So businesses take this very seriously. Let's break it down. Earning power. Most content auditors earn between $70,000 and $100,000 per year, depending on experience and the companies they work with. So I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. Now beginner friendliness. If you already consume a lot of content, videos, posts, ads, and you can spot what works and what doesn't, you're already halfway there. You'll still need to learn guidelines and frameworks, but it's very accessible. So I'm giving this an 8.5 out of 10. Now growth potential. Content is only increasing. More platforms, more creators, more brands competing for attention. And all of them need quality control. So this role continues to grow. That's a 9 out of 10. Now survivability. This is where it gets interesting. AI can scan content, but it struggles with nuance, tone, cultural context, and brand voice. And those are exactly the things that matter most here. So survivability is very high. That's a 9.5 out of 10. Finally, freedom. Most of this work is remote and often asynchronous. You review content, give feedback, and move on. You're not tied to constant meetings or real-time communication. So freedom is excellent. That's a 9 out of 10. All right. Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Across all 7 jobs, something becomes very clear. The highest-paying remote opportunities are not the ones that look exciting on the surface. They're the ones that solve real problems. Problems like fixing systems, reducing risk, improving efficiency, maintaining quality. And here's the key insight most people miss. The more boring a job seems, the less competition it has. And the less competition there is, the more valuable you become. Now if we look at the scoreboard as a whole, some jobs stand out for different reasons. If you want maximum freedom, roles like workflow automation or content auditing are strong choices. If you want long-term stability, compliance and insurance dominate. And if you're aiming for high earning potential with growth, automation and sales operations lead the way. So the real question isn't, which job is the best? It's, which one fits you? Because the best job is the one you can actually stick with long enough to get good at. And once you get good, that's when the real money starts coming in. Now, if you found this helpful and you want more breakdowns like this, make sure you're subscribed to Daily Money Clarity. And if you want to go deeper, check out the next video where we break down side hustles you can start immediately with little to no experience. I'll see you there.